Metro Ghetto.
Hi everybody, welcome to what is the final Ghetto vlog of 2023. We've done it, right? We've done a Sunday vlog every single Sunday of the year. Not missed one, I'm proud of that. Thank you very much for coming on this journey with me throughout the whole year. What a year it's been, but more on the year that we've had. Later in the vlog, we're going to reflect back on some of the highs, the lows. I'm going to look back at all of the video games I've completed. We're going to rank them. Yeah, loads to be getting on with on what is the end of year special vlog. But in real world time, for me, it's Boxing Day. So, hope you guys all had a great Christmas. I'm just about winding down now out of the Christmas festivities. Still very much full of turkey and all the trimmings. And yeah, what I am doing now is my first few footsteps into the 3.0 since before Christmas, because tomorrow morning they've got something very special planned indeed. So we are heading out to Stafford County Toy Fair, a fantastic toy fair at the best of times. But not only that, the Christmas toy fair calendar is always like the highlight of the toy fair. Usually it's on the NEC, which is undoubtedly the best toy fair on the calendar of this country. However, there's always something quite magical about the Christmas toy fair. There's always one in and around Christmas. Sometimes it's Boxing Day, and this year it's the day after Boxing Day, so the 27th, and that's where we're heading tomorrow morning, Stafford County Toy Fair. I'm going down with Kev, his mate Joff, and we're going to be linking up with Theo from Slimehouse TV, his right-hand man Ben Legs, and whenever we all get together and go game and toy hunting, it's always a fantastic day, and it always means that we get a lot of fantastic video footage for you guys to enjoy as well. So I'm hyped for it. I've been hyped for it all Christmas. It's been a bit of a different Christmas this year. Myself and Mrs. Gatto haven't really done gifts because obviously we've got a newborn baby and 2 kids now, and we're getting to that point now, we're getting old, right? So we have to start buying things for other people. Yeah, the gift of giving and all that. So it's always been bubbling away in the back of my mind that, yeah, my Christmas in some ways is going to the toy fair and going on this game hunt on the 27th. So I'm absolutely buzzing for it, cannot wait. I don't know how it's going to quite work in terms of content, what's going to be on this vlog, what might potentially be a Wednesday episode. It depends how the day progresses, what we find, what we pick up, how much footage we get, etc. But one thing's for sure, you're going to see a lot of it on this vlog, because yeah, we're planning to be out all day, not only going to the toy fair, but we're also going to go out into the wider area, hit up all the CXs and any other interesting shops that are local to the Stafford County Fair. So yeah, man, I've also completed another game, my 21st game of the year, and that came courtesy of RG Jr. He's had one of these like, it's like a little mini Capcom handheld thing. It's actually really good, I was quite impressed with it. It's his first foray into having his own games console. I'm trying to keep him young for as long as possible. I'm trying to keep him into toys. I don't want him having his own TV and losing him to video games, all right? There's plenty of time for that. But we've let him have this little Capcom handheld thing because he loves Street Fighter. And it's got Street Fighter built into it, as well as quite a few other games. I'm really quite impressed with it. But the other thing which really sort of cemented the fact that I was going to buy it for him is that it plays Evercade cartridges. So obviously in some ways it's the gift that keeps on giving. Not only do you get a decent lineup of Capcom games with this handheld, but you also then get the option to buy him more cartridges down the line for future birthdays, Christmases, etc. So yeah, I think it was a good gift, and I kind of found a little bit of time when he was doing something else. I picked it up and I played through Mercs, really enjoyed it. I don't know if I should be classing it as a game completed because I died a lot. I think there's like endless continues, right? But I'm counting it, right? It's my list. Game 21 of the year, Mercs. Fun game to play through, really good game. The only thing I would say about it is, another one of the reasons why I bought it was because it says you can put it into easy mode, because I was concerned that it was going to be like the arcade ports, so obviously very difficult, especially for a 5-year-old, right? Easy mode is not that easy, let me tell you. Especially games like Street Fighter, it's still somewhat of a challenge to get through a few fights, so just bear that in mind if you're thinking about buying it for kids. But the way I see it is he's got to get good, right? It's a way of him learning. But yeah, game 21 of the year, Mercs. I'm calling it now. I'm going to add it to my list because yeah, we're running out of days, right? So it's probably looking like 21 games. And like I said, later in this vlog, I'm going to sit down, try and remember all the games I've finished, and we're going to rank them, and I'll be able to tell you guys what my game of the year 2023 was. So I'm kind of looking forward to reliving some of them as well. So yeah, man, I'm just nipping in here, say on borrowed time. Boxing Day is very much family day for me. I've got batteries to put in things and Lego sets to build and all that kind of stuff. So I'll be seeing you guys bright and early in the morning. We're going to head out to Stafford with the crew and, yeah, do some hunting. I'll see you then. Okay, we've made it. Stafford County Toy Fair, bright and early. We've actually beat early bird. It's about 20 to 8, so as you can see. Good morning. Not too much has been set up yet. Good morning, sir. Ken. Good morning. No. Hello. There we go. Thank you. Josh. Hello. We are waiting Theo and Bentlegs. I think they're stuck in some flood somewhere. I don't know. They live. They've not developed roads where they are. But yeah, it's looking like it might be a good turnout, so let's do a quick fire lap, hunt down any video games as usual, and then yeah, several slow laps to follow, so let's hope the hunting gods are with us.
Not a bad start though. A lot of it depends on the price of it, you never know, not giving them away.
I don't know what this is, right? I was struck by how odd it is. And then when you turn it around, I feel like I want him now.
Shogun Donny. What about the Bruce Lee?
I've never seen Bruce Lee pull that face. Ooh. So as you can see, we are very early. We've even beat early birds. Loads of people are still setting up. But I've come to learn that we're getting more and more people after video games at these places, and with them being somewhat infrequent, the earlier you can get here, the better, right? Because yeah, if there are other people like myself that are after that primarily, grab them before anyone else sees them. It's always a bonus. So I'm doing a very, very quick fire lap.
seat, Callum. Get it the right way round. He's early. Got a smile, Callum.
That's just nostalgia.
I'm not seeing what you're seeing, but
Got 9 there, mate. You 15 quid.
the rare sight of Callum's wallet.
Yeah, top man. Appreciate it, my friend. No change. Just come back to you a bit. Oh, here we go. Look at that. I might come back and have a second look later, mate. A couple, I'm not sure if I
There
need
is
them
somebody
or right.
coming to email us. No, it's saying that those come to my consoles and games.
Yeah.
So if they're gone, mate, they're gone.
Yeah, I understand that, mate. Good one, stop. So that was a nice start. So you've seen all that bundle of games. Quite a few will be trading. Paid 15 quid. Rambo. I'm sure that covers Rambo alone. That's like a, what, 15, 20 pound game currently. So yeah, not a bad start. Let's see what else is here for me. Morning, mate.
Hello, great to get up.
Yes, mate. How are you?
Yeah, not bad, yeah, good to see you.
And you, mate. Is this your store?
It is.
Nice store, mate. This looks like a childhood collection or collector. Nice collection.
I just buy what I like.
Yeah,
And
that's
if the bubble bursts tomorrow, it doesn't matter.
that's it. That's the way to do it, mate. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Nice bits, though.
Thank you. Yeah, I think the,
Show me again. Right, however much you want, I'm paying it.
just take my money.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. I can't go in with two figures that just do that, can I? I mean, this is.
I think
The nicest man. It's the nicest man in toys, isn't it? The nicest man in toys is like a moniker you've got. It's a hard moniker to live on. Are you alright? Yeah, I'm very good. You?
yeah, not too bad, mate. Not too bad.
Good. What you got today? What you got?
Just
Got any flooring? He'll be here soon.
Okay, so we've had a quick tea break. I've checked, there's about 34-ish quid value. One of the Red Deads is a bit scratched up, they probably won't take that one, but yeah, not bad at all. That being the highlight. There's £5 on the Red Deads. Ghostbusters trades in for a £5. Fallout 3 is actually the Game of the Year edition, so I'll probably keep that one for the collection, but again, that's another £5 trading. Yeah, decent.
Ben Legs is here. Shout out Ben Legs. Man like Theo. Looks well happy, doesn't he? He's definitely not broke his camera. One for you here, Kev. This one here.
Somebody will find him a good
Sure. You already got it? I don't remember Alice in Wonderland looking like that.
I'm surprised they're in the bargain, than these, look.
Here he is, look at my little pony box, my guy. Oh my word.
What a film.
You're better off in the My Little Pony, I think.
Do you remember when you was a kid, yeah, and every film you went to see at the cinema was your favourite film? 'Cause you went to
Yeah,
cinema.
yeah.
Until I went to that.
Oh really?
My mate came out and we couldn't even pretend. Dead. Dead. Do you know where I can get some Reebok pumps?
Yeah, we're twinning, yo.
Where's my red spines? What you find, Kevin? What? Oh yeah, I want that one as well. Grab that for me, huh? Is it scratched or not? Yeah, I might have that. Anyway, I need to trade stuff in before. I've got that version, yeah. Have a look then.
Oh, I ain't doing it in here.
Oh, we're going to take a better look outside. We're going to get something to eat, yeah? Here we go, look at it. Standard Kev, double bagging, look. You have to double bag from Leicester. Isn't that right, Kev? Oh, hello. Nintendo cardboard, Kev.
It is.
Shame it's N64 cardboard. Complete, I'm assuming.
Yeah. It is good.
Don't matter, does it?
Got City tonight.
Club Forces.
So get the time to play.
Yeah, Arsenal got a win tonight. Is this for you? Kia? Yeah. Cards. This one you need, just one you need. Dear one, that, isn't it?
What's it like looking at?
That's an expensive one and all. It's faded a bit, this one. Plasma sword.
Yeah, man.
Not on that console though. I think we're a bit too deep, Nick. I don't know, it's too late now. We're just as far back as we are forward, aren't we? Jesus Christ. What, your paddles? Better safe than sorry to be at the end of the day, mate. Right, okay, so it's the next day. We made it back eventually, despite the best efforts of the weather, and you can probably hear it. It's like, I've been in this room 18 months. I've not known weather like this. You saw how bad it was around here with Kev. Luckily his car was fine. We reversed out, went a different way back here, but there has been a slight issue. There's a bit of a leak developed around that back window. Nothing too bad, thankfully. I'll show you guys in a bit. I'm trying to get it dry. I've got the room in here hot. I've got a dehumidifier in here, but that's something I'm going to have to get to. But yeah, the rain has just been torrential, non-stop for like 48 hours. Biblical weather out here. But anyway, enough about that. Just forgive the background noise. It's just the rain beating on the window. What a day. Fantastic day. I always love going out hunting with those guys, right? Just, yeah, it's always a good time. The fair itself, I wouldn't say it was disappointing. I'd probably say slightly underwhelming. Maybe I'd hyped it too much in my own mind, because Christmas fairs are usually like a highlight, and I think that's because they're primarily at the NEC. Things have changed. They don't have as many fairs at the NEC anymore, I think because of like parking costs and venue costs, things like that. I don't think it's necessarily cost efficient for the organisers of these fairs. But it was still a good day. And in many ways, the fair itself was rescued by that early Xbox 360 find that we had. I did manage to get all of them into CEX. We'll talk more about CEX later. But the ones I decided to keep for my own collection was Fallout 3, which is the Game of Year edition. Yeah, I don't have the Game of the Year edition, I don't believe. I think this has everything on the disc, if I remember rightly. So it's not a case of needing a code or anything like that. So yeah, that's a nice addition to the collection. And like I said, the one that paid for it all, right? Rambo, this is £15 currently at CX. I think at one point it was £18. By all accounts, not the best game, but I want to find out for myself. I'm just intrigued by it. How bad could it be, right? I mean, you're Rambo blowing things up, so we'll get to that. But yeah, I'm just... It's one I've always wanted to play, so looking forward to getting into that. And just for nostalgia's sake, I picked up ISS, the original Pro Evo, right? ISS Pro Evolution 2. Yeah, like I say, these were like a pound or so, really, ultimately. So I was not going to leave that one behind. And yeah, I made, I don't know, I had all these and 20 odd pounds worth of CEX vouchers for the £15 spent. So it was a very good find. I have since placed a very large order with CEX, so I don't think they're going to arrive in time for this vlog. So probably Wednesday there's going to be a big CEX lottery. 2 items I'm praying are in good condition, because I would love to add them to my collection. So keep it locked to the Retro Regatta for that one. And whenever you go to a toy fair, it's so nice to actually pick up a toy, right? And this was just sat there amongst loads of things strewn out of a table. The guy said everything there was £5 each. You have to haggle a little bit, right? I said, would you take £4? He said yes. And that is this character from Borderlands. Just like, I don't know, just a nice shelf filler, I think. Very much an impulse purchase. Maybe he'll fit on the Xbox 360 shelf. I was going to say it looks and feels like a NECA toy, but I can't. I'm struggling to read the writing that's on the bottom of his foot. But yeah, cool little toy for £4, I thought. Nice little space filler on one of my shelves. And like I say, if you're going to go to a toy fair, it's nice to actually come away with a toy, right? But yeah, when we went to CEX, as you saw, Kev got some great bits. I didn't actually come away with anything. A very rare occasion I go to a CEX store and buy nothing. There wasn't anything that was really standing out to me. A couple of steel books there, but they weren't in the best condition. And if I'm being honest, I was too busy chatting with the lads and having a laugh with Theo. I probably wasn't scouring the shelves as much as I would do on my own. And it kind of got me thinking, you know what, I feel like I've got unfinished business with CEX. So we're going to go out on a hunt today in the locals. Little man's Christmas money is burning a hole in his pocket. So I'm going to take him out. We're going to spend his Christmas money in the toy shops. I'm going to use it as an opportunity to go to the charity shops and the CEX, see what my locals are saying. So that's where we're going to be heading out today to do another little hunt. And then when we get back, I've got a couple of parcels to open. This one's come all the way from Australia. Very excited about that. But yeah, we'll get to that once we've come back from the trip to the locals. Hopefully, I'm going to find something to right the wrongs of yesterday's CEX hunt. But yeah, I just want to give a massive shout out to all the lads that came yesterday. It's always great going out hunting with like-minded people, and we've got probably the biggest hunt. It is actually the biggest hunt I've ever done on this channel, coming very, very soon. We are currently planning going away for the weekend, and it's going to be a hell of a trip. I can't wait. There's so much planned in terms of hunting, different shops, venues, all that kind of stuff. That yeah, I'll share more about that with you guys as and when it comes, but yeah, in the next few weeks, something very big's coming, and I'm excited about it. So yeah, more about that when the time comes. But I'm going to fly out now, brave this weather again, take little man out, and then I'll see you guys real soon, in a bit.
Before we head out, I just wanted to show you, as I say, this bit of a leak here. So I noticed this when I got back last night. The weather's finally calmed down a bit. But obviously you do get the brunt of it here. But I don't know if you can quite see it on camera, but this area here is wet. And you can see it's sort of damaging the paint a little bit, and it runs slightly to here. A little bit of water you can see on the bottom of the window. What I'm going to do is take some videos, photos, send it to the builders. They'll have to come and have a look at it. But it might just be simply a case of sort of sealing this a bit better. You can see here, you know, inevitably, as you can see, you know, when you plaster walls, they can crack a little bit, and I think that's happened sort of in and around the frame. Nothing too bad, thankfully. I've got this little thing I'm going to leave here. I've got an actual dehumidifier plugged in the corner, and as I say, I'm going to keep the room really warm just to sort of dry this area out. Could be significantly worse. I've been around the whole room. Thankfully, there's no other signs of issues anywhere, nothing in the ceiling. So yeah, could be much, much worse, right? In terms of like building an extension, you're going to have the odd little teething problem, and as if this is as bad as it gets after being in here for 18 months, I'll take it, but obviously it's just a case of getting it rectified as soon as possible. So yeah, not the best, could be worse. Let's go and do some hunting. Okay, so we've made it at the locals. I'm here with Little Man. Hi. Good lad. You know the drill. Charity shops, CEX. Let's see what we can find. PS3 Essentials now. I want you to help me, and I want you to find all the games that this bit's red. The spine's red, yeah? Can you do that? Go.
Yeah, that's one. Thanks, mate. Good find that. Well done. Put it back then, see if there's any more.
Okay, so that worked out well. Got a nice couple of games, a sleeve cover, an essential. Obviously, I'll show you when we get back. But where are we going now? We're going home, mate.
Toy shop.
Let's go toy shop. So that's just what you need in it. More toys right now.
You sure that's the one you want?
Yeah.
Have you got all the others then?
I've got all the Ninja Turtles, but I don't have DD and I don't have the Monster in this set, and I don't have Splinter.
Well, you don't have to buy them all.
Yeah.
You don't have to collect everything, do you?
Um,
I wonder where you get that from.
I just want the set. I just want the set of them.
You just want the whole set of them.
Yes.
Right, okay, so I am back from the trip to the locals and I've actually come back with quite a few games. So yeah, it was a nice little trip. Little man's happy, he's got his complete set of turtles now, and yeah, so he's busy playing with them, and I'm going to show you guys exactly what I've got. Then we're going to unbox these. Yeah, I've been excited about this one in particular. This is, well, we'll get to that, we'll get to it, right? So first things first, this was in a charity shop where everything's a pound, all media's a pound, DVDs, Blu-rays, a lot. I picked up 3 PlayStation 2 games, a couple I might already own, I'm not sure, but they're worth picking up anyway. You could either trade them for the same or more, so it was worth picking them up for £1. First one is Avatar: The Legend of Aang. And I'll just give these away, I'll move these on if I already have them. Indiana Jones: The Original Adventures. And what I definitely don't own, because I don't think I've ever really seen it before, Men in Black: Alien Escape. I don't know much about this one, but that'll be going into the collection. And like I say, for £1 each, there was quite a decent selection in there, more than your sort of standard FIFAs, Pro Evos, and whatnot. Then there was a couple that were too badly scratched, unfortunately. But yeah, for £1 each, wasn't going to leave those behind, so we'll pop them there. Yep, so you can see them. And on the way home, I called into a charity shop, my very local. I actually called into a couple. One, all I bought was a t-shirt of a little man, a Mandalorian t-shirt for 99p. They didn't have any games. And another one, I bought another game that I already own. But this is £1.50, and I wasn't going to leave behind sealed goodness, right? Sealed PlayStation 4 game, Dishonored 2. Listen, I always say collecting's a disease, right? I was not going to leave a sealed PlayStation 4 game behind, no way. So yeah, nice sealed game for the collection. We'll add that. And yeah, so that takes me to CEX. First, I've got to give a big shout out to Matt. Thank you very much. So viewers may remember, I went to my local CEX a few weeks ago, and Manesh gave me some games which a chap called Matt had left for me. A couple of PlayStation 3 Essentials. I think it was the Sega Mega Drive collection, sealed again. And another one, it escapes me now. Very kind of him, and he's left me another one that I collected today when I went behind the counter. So massive shout out to Matt. I'm really hoping I actually bump into him one day in CEX. I would love to thank him in person. But what he had left for me was Uncharted 3, Drake's Deception. I already had the original Uncharted game in the Essentials range. So massive shout out once again to Matt for that. And that just left me needing the second Uncharted game for the full run of the Essentials. Which takes me to the next find. That is Uncharted 2. So this was one, I think pretty much the only game I saw there in the Essentials range that I didn't already own. So yeah, it was nice to come back and complete the run of Uncharted games. So I've now got all 3, which is fantastic. More Essentials off the list. And definitely my favourite find in CX. I don't think I knew this existed, to be honest. A sleeve cover. So you would have seen that there was a few steelbooks. Unfortunately, my local have started now keeping a few things behind the counter, and I asked why. And apparently they've had over £200 worth of Switch boxes stolen over the Christmas period. So, you know, unfortunately, if people are going to be dicks, then, you know, it can affect the rest of us, right? So it's a bit of a pain when things are behind the counter, but it's not like some CEX stores where they sort of like let you look at it from afar, but don't let you touch it. They've just let me have a look. So I went through them all. You've seen some nice ones. Either the price wasn't where I wanted it to be, or the condition. There was a Blaze Blue Xbox 360 one, which was nice, big box, only £5, but the box on the spines wasn't good enough, so I left it behind. But this was actually on the shelves. £5, standard price, and I already own the game, and I can trade that in for £3. So effectively this cost me £2. Anyway, that is Omerta City of Gangsters, and like I say, I did not know that it came in a sleeve cover. Very, very uncommon, one would suggest, because I've never seen this before. Slight mark where someone's pulled off a previous sticker, but I reckon I can clean it up a bit. We'll hopefully do that later in this episode. I mean, I love all things gangster, right? And I love all things sleeve cover, so this was right up my street. I was really happy to discover that this was a thing and to see it right in front of me, sat on the shelf. The spine looks immaculate, which is what we want. So yeah, that was definitely my find of the day at CEX. Shout out to my local CEX branch. Absolutely love that branch, and yeah, nice few pickups there. So I think it's time to open some parcels, right? So this first one, I don't know what it is. No idea. It's coming like a letter form. So let's get into it. Right, okay. Okay. Right, yes. So a chap called Pete reached out to me recently, and he said he had a lenticular sleeve cover for me that I didn't already have. So I'm assuming this is from Pete. Much appreciated, my friend. So this is the Street Fighter 5 one. Perfect, really, because I recently sold my Street Fighter 5 Collector's Edition with the steelbook and everything. So I will one day buy Street Fighter 5 again, cheap, when I see it at CX, when it's like £15 like a year or so from now. And this is just going to be perfect to add to it. So I've got a nice Street Fighter 6, I always say 5, Street Fighter 6 lenticular sleeve cover to go on that. So much appreciated, Pete. Thank you very much for sending that my way. And that takes me to this one right here. So as I say, this has come all the way from Australia. So a chap called Nathan reached out to me, and he said, I've got something for you. He did tell me what it was, and apparently this is an Australian exclusive, which makes sense because you just don't see this game. You never see it in stock at CEX. I checked online on eBay, nothing in the sold section, not PAL anyway, and one for sale, £200, which is unbelievable. Nathan did me this at a fantastic price. He basically just asked me to cover postage. I think it was like £18. I'd say it's come from the other side of the world. I was more than happy to do so. Very kind of him. So let's get into it. And yeah, this is one of them ones, before I open it, that it means a lot, right? When I'm going for the full set, and if there's people that watch the channel, firstly, if there's people watch the channel in Australia, wow, I never imagined I'd have people on the other side of the world watching me sit here in this room, right? Secondly, when I one day survey my collection of Super Nintendo games, hopefully a full collection, it'd be nice to be able to point at certain ones, and this would be one of them ones that would have been very hard to obtain, but viewers of the channel and their generosity helped out, and yeah, it just gives it that extra bit of meaning. So yeah, much appreciated. So let's get into it. Let's see what we're working with here. He did say to me it's not mint and whatnot. I think he got this as part of a bundle. I think he sent me a screenshot of like a Super Nintendo bundle that he got, and this was just one of them. And I don't think he was too bothered about having it in his collection. I think he said there was some damage or something, but he cleaned it up. Very well packaged. Okay, and that game is Space Invaders. So this game was released in November 1997 in PAL territories, but as far as I know, it was only in Australia. This is based on Space Invaders DX, which was released in arcades to sort of celebrate the 15th anniversary of Space Invaders. We all know Space Invaders, right? I've had a quick look at some of the gameplay. It does seem very basic. I don't even think there's any background music or anything like that. It's just the Space Invaders that everyone knows and loves, right? But yeah, like I say, a very uncommon title. So one that I'm very happy to have in my collection. So it's got the booklet. It's all complete. Box, more than good enough condition for me. Maybe benefited from an iron. But this is definitely shelf worthy in terms of condition. And the all important PAL cartridge. And yeah, honestly, Nathan, if you're watching me, I can't thank you enough, because this is a game that wasn't on my radar because you just don't see it. It's not really in my mind. But like, having researched it and looked into it a bit more, this would have been a difficult or expensive game for me to track down. So to be able to add it to my collection, yeah, it means a lot. It really does. So thank you very much, sir. I'll message you actually shortly after filming this. Because another thing I want to shout out to Nathan for, and he didn't have to do this. He said to me, look, I've got this game. I'm sending it from Australia. If you don't mind paying the postage, it'd be £18. I said, that's fine. And then he said to me, don't pay it until you've received it. He didn't have to say that. He could have just said, send it me up front. And, you know, little things like that, it means a lot. It really does. And just goes to, I think, further confirm what a sound bloke Nathan is. So, yeah, much appreciated, my friend. And that's capped off what has been a nice little haul, right? A nice addition to the collection right here. And that's what it's all about. I'm sitting here looking at the window. I've recently spoke to the builders. It's pretty much what I thought. It said because of how bad the weather's been, it's probably hit, the rain's probably hit the window from different angles than it never would have hit it from previously, and highlighted either an issue with the sealant on the outside, or where the windows have like drainage holes towards the bottom. There might be an issue there. They're going to come and have a look at it next week. It's not an emergency. It's drying up as we speak. It looks loads better already. But yeah, just to make you guys aware, that's where we're at with it. It's not a big deal. I'm not going to make a video crying, asking for donations to save the game. Right, we're all good. So yeah, hopefully that's just something minor, and then I'll fix up the paintwork later down the line. But I think it's time for a montage, right? It's been a long time. At least a couple of weeks. That's a long time in my eyes. Since we put all these games away, there's going to be a big pile of games that I've amassed now over the last couple of weeks, and I love a montage, and I'm sure some of you do as well. So let's do that. Okay, so there's a reason I saved Scrabble for last, and that's because we've got a Nintendo Wii problem. I've got to fit that in and this, and I really want to get this art on show, so time to get a thinking cap on with this. Right, okay, so I think I've solved the problem. What I have done is been able to put the two collector's editions on display, which I wanted on display. I've had a bit of a jig around, I've moved that, got some forward facing now, and there's also a little bit of room to grow in that section there where standard Wii games could encroach where Smash Brothers is. The way I created that space is, left that there because I wanted that to remain on display. But my Rugrats and Hey Arnold DVD collections have just gone down into that bottom corner now. So, as I say, it has allowed me to get those on display as I wanted them, without really having to do too much upheaval, moving the whole Wii collection. So, yeah, really happy with that. Delighted with how this whole sort of area is looking, to be honest. Right, okay, so, in terms of jobs that are remaining, I did mention last week standees, right? So this is the Total Roam, is it called? Standee that I got last week. I've also got this GTA standee here, which I think could be placed somewhere better. So I'm going to once again get that thinking cap on. Similar pose to Kratos here. And yeah, see if we can get these standees locked into position, and then we'll pretty much be done in here for now. Okay, so I think I've got a plan. I think I'm going to have to modify this standee and get it in there perfectly. I'll move Marvel vs. Capcom 2. That's fine. That's small. That can be housed anywhere. Whether that ends up sitting on there, just behind Master Chief, that's not a concern. What I'm going to do, I've measured it so it'll work. So I've previously already scored this, right? So it folds in on itself. That was for the plug socket when it used to be based down there before I built the Sega wall. So my plan is to continue that line all the way across. So I'm not going to damage it theoretically. I will of course be putting a line in the other side of it, just so it can bend on itself. Because when it sits here with that measurement, it will sit perfectly in this gap. I really want to get the use out of this standee. I love it. I really want to have all three standees on show in here. And this is the only way that really I can do that. Once this is locked in, I don't intend on moving any of this again. So that should be its forever home, he says. So yeah, I'm going to take my time, do this carefully and slowly, get it right, and yeah, hopefully we'll get all the standees locked in tonight. Right, so I'm pretty happy with the cut. As you can see, it's barely noticeable. So if there was ever a time in the future where I wanted to unflip the bottom piece, you wouldn't really notice that fine line unless you really looked for it, right? Just looks like it's meant to be. It's why you're better off to take your time, measure it, and make that score exactly right. So now I'm going to flip it in on itself, pull the settee out and get it in position. Okay, we're done. I'm delighted with it. Absolutely delighted. What I managed to do was raise it up and sit it on top of the skirting board, which obviously helps with its support and stops it from bending. I also allowed it to creep up on the underside of this shelf. You don't notice it when it's there, and it just filled the space absolutely perfectly. It almost looks like she's sitting on the sofa, right? Like the spacing. And I've said before, this sort of area has been a problem for me. And now that I've got the Mega Drive wall, and now I've got this area filled with her, yeah, I feel like this sort of section is complete. I'm very happy with this. I don't envisage this changing anytime soon, and now I just need to make a decision on whether I extend the Mega Drive wall out with some more IKEA shelves, or I put something else there, but that's obviously a decision for a future vlog. But let me know in the comments what you think. I for one, I'm delighted. Let's get tidied up. I've said many times in recent vlogs that the game room is looking better than ever. And I was hoping I'd be able to say it as we draw to the close of 2023. And I think I can safely say that the 3.0 has never looked better. Absolutely delighted with the progress that we've made, the journeys that we've been on over the past 12 months to get this room to where it is now. And what I'm going to do now is sit back, reflect a little bit on this fantastic year, and tell you guys what my video game of the year 2023 is. It always feels so good to sit back when the room's immaculate, right? Yeah, it's just a great feeling. And yeah, time to look at my personal video game of the year 2023. When I say my game of the year, I don't mean the games which came out, I mean the games that I played through in 2023. I completed 21 games, and to be honest, obviously I'd like to have completed more, but I think given how busy life's been, with the real world, family stuff, running a YouTube channel, I'm pretty happy with 21. Like, I'll take that. Hopefully I can build on it next year. But yeah, I've played some great games throughout the year. I made a big mistake. I've not been writing them down. Whilst I was trying to sort of like think of this, I couldn't even remember them all. So next year I'm going to make sure that I write them all down so that I don't forget and don't slip through the net as we progress over the next 12 months. There is quite a few games that ate up some of my time, so it kind of stopped me from completing games and I didn't finish them. First one was Metroid Prime. You guys will remember if you've been watching months back, I got very frustrated with that. That's one of them cases of good game, but just not for me. I don't know what it was. I spent too many nights in here, like dedicated gaming sessions. I had like 2 or 3 where I sat down for a few hours at a time and made no progress. And whilst to some extent I get that's the joy of those games, when it comes to Metroidvanias, I think I'm very much a 2D guy. And I think that confirmed it for me this year. Then there's Tiny Thor, put a lot of time into that. There's like 27 levels or something, and I'm at like level 22. That's definitely a game I hope to finish next year. I said I'd put that on hold until I get a physical copy, so in a way it's a good thing. Kind of gives me that excitement to get my physical copy of it. But I touched on it before, I just think the game got too difficult. I think the difficulty curve in that game was to a point where it just went off the scale. It started at a good difficulty level, it was a challenge, and then the second half of the game just became ridiculous. You're spending hours just trying to get to the next checkpoint on each level, and if I'm being honest, I sort of lost the enjoyment with it because of that. Jamestown is another one. I got right to the boss. I don't think ever in my life have I ever got to a boss and quote unquote given up. One day I'd like to revisit it, right? But yeah, I just found the boss so difficult. Because the boss is 2 iterations, I've only got to the second iteration like 2 or 3 times. It's a game that will always have a place in my heart because it's a game that I was playing whilst I was in hospital with the birth of Mini Ghetto. So it's a game that I'll always hold dear. But yeah, just one that took a lot of my time that I never finished. And probably the last one that I need to shout out is Terranigma. Fantastic game. I love to sort of play my games, retro games, especially those that cost a lot of money. I really put a lot of hours into that, probably 10 to 15 hours. I like the fact that I know what the game's about. I know about Terranigma now. I know roughly about the story, I know how it works. I know the beauty of the game, the music. Another game which I hold synonymous, that music now, for me, will always remind me again of Mini Ghetto, because that's sort of the music that I sat there and did on the morning after he was born when I was doing the vlog and updating it, you know, in somewhat of an emotional state, right? So yeah, that's what video games are all about, right? Holding these memories and attaching life goals and milestones to games. And yeah, they're just some of the games that I didn't finish that took up some of my time. I'm not going to go through every 21 games that I finished. If you've been watching the vlog, you've seen my journey anyway, and I can't remember them all. More importantly, what I am going to do is my top 5, and they are in order. So in 5th place, I'm going to put in Sunset Riders. This, for as much as it was a good game, and I really enjoyed it, and I can see why people sort of revere it so much, this was just a massive collector goal for me this year. This was like probably my #1 target or there or thereabouts. It's a game that I really want to add to my collection. To finally get it at a decent price that I was happy to pay, and then to play through it and enjoy it and sort of get some of that money's worth. Yeah, really enjoyed my time with this one. Every year I say I want to play more retro, and I definitely do want to play more retro as we go into 2024. There's a lot of Mega Drive games that I want to play especially, so I think next year will be a Nintendo Wii and a Mega Drive year. When I sort of look back and reflect on some of the games that I've completed, it's funny how you go in cycles. As I was looking through it, I started the year playing like Xbox and PlayStation 3. I completed like Uncharted 3, and I was playing quite a lot of 360 games on the Xbox One. Yeah, and then like the rest of the year really was very Switch heavy, as you'll see with the next few games. But yeah, Sunset Riders deserve its place on the list. And then again, well, I've spoken about all these games a lot on the channel, right? But in fourth place, Infernax. Just a game that, I've said it before, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Most games I can pick a fault somewhere along the line. This game just had everything that I want it to be. Just really fun, really fun. Didn't outstay its welcome. I'm a fan of shorter games. There's so much to this one. Yeah, like I said, I've spoken about all of these games before on the channel, so I'm not going to bore you guys to death, but this is everything you could want from like an 8-bit style 2D platformer with sort of like Metroidvania elements to it. Loads of unlockables, loads of secrets to find, and yeah, just yeah, if you haven't played Infernax, it's still cheap. There's no excuse. Pick it up and play it. And in third place is probably the game I've spoke about the most on the channel, so I'm not going to bore you all again. But that is Andro Dunos 2. Man, a lot of people say to me, like, some of the music on my channel, where'd you get that music from? What's that song? A lot of it's from Andro Dunos 2. The music, the visuals, this is everything I love in a shmup. If I had to convince somebody why I've found this love for shmups, this game would be it. It's everything. The difficulty level's perfect. It's challenging but not too tough. I was delighted when I finally beat it. And yeah, newcomers or seasoned pros, anybody should pick up Andro Dunos 2. I absolutely loved it, and it's definitely worthy of its place of being number 3 on my list of games from this year. And then we get to the top 2. In at second place might be one that some people would have at number 1, or you might think it's my number 1, and that is Tears of the Kingdom. I think in many ways, this is going to sound weird saying it's number 2 on my list, but bear with me. In many ways, I think this is the greatest video game ever made. I've never known a game give you so much freedom. I've never known a game give you so many tools with which you can... I mean, Breath of the Wild was a case of, wow, if you can see it, you can do it. If your mind can imagine it, you can do it. But then all of that on steroids, right? Because you've got all these new sort of powers, you can merge things together, you can go through ceilings, and... I said at the time, this game weighed heavy on me because I put about 200 hours into it, and I felt like I could have put 200 more. I had to eventually put this game down, such is my backlog and the amount of games I buy that I want to play. I almost felt guilty in finishing this game at 200 hours because, yeah, I could have easily probably put 500 hours into this game. I said before and I'll say it again, I wish I was sort of 13 years old going into the summer holidays and having this game and having nothing to do but play this game and no worries in life and just play this for hours and hours every day, because there's so much gaming here. The reason it's number 2 on my list is firstly because of the love for number 1, which we'll get to in a minute, but also because Breath of the Wild came first. And as much as this is a better game than Breath of the Wild, right, because it's Breath of the Wild and then some, Breath of the Wild came first. So the visuals, a lot of the mechanics like the climbing and all the sort of like, you know, a lot of the things that made Breath of the Wild great, I've already seen and done it with the first one. In no way, shape or form is that to the detriment of this game, because they took that and made it even better. But I think simply because I'd already done it and seen some of it and seen that art style, that this was less jaw-dropping than Breath of the Wild. But like I say, to put them both together, I would say I favoured Breath of the Wild from my heart, if that makes sense, because that was the first one. But if I was just comparing them as a game, I think this is the better game. I genuinely think this is one of the best games ever made. And yeah, and a lot of other years this would have been my game of the year. But my game of the year, it seems like ages ago now, because I got this last Christmas. And I did finish it this year, so it took me a good couple of weeks. One of the most difficult games I've ever completed, and that is Cuphead. I love this game. And most people know about Cuphead by now, so I'm not going to bore you all with the amazing visuals and the difficult yet rewarding gameplay, which is still fair and balanced, which is a very hard skill to achieve in a video game. Not only all of that, but I think because Retro Ghetto Jr. got me this for Christmas, and he was like invested in it with me because he bought it for me and he would watch me play it, and the elation I felt of finishing it, I can't think of another game where I felt that high of finishing it, beating that final boss. I've done it! Oh my days. Right, I swear to God. You know when you tell yourself it's the last time? I told myself a couple of times, this is the last time. But this time, that was it. I genuinely meant it. It was the last time. I'd already started switching off the room. I was having one more go, and I was calling it a night. And I did it. And you know what? I didn't just do it, I smashed it. I played the perfect game. Like, I wish I'd recorded it somehow. That was the best, 3 minutes of my adult gaming life. Like, honestly, I've never professed to be good at video games. I think I finished it with like a couple of lives left. Oh my God. What a game. Only video games can make you feel like this. And genuinely loving every minute of it. It's arguably one of the hardest games I've ever finished, but there was never a point where I thought I'm going to put this down and not finish it. Some of these games on this list that I spoke about, I've said I didn't finish. That was never going to be the case with this. If this game took me 12 months, I was going to finish it. And that, if anything, is a sign of a great video game. In the next few weeks or months coming into next year, I might do a top 10 list, my favourite video games of all time. And there's a chance that this could well be on that list. I absolutely loved this game. So yeah, that is my top 5 games of 2023. And yeah, let me know in the comments what your favourite games that you've played through this year are. And just before I go, I just want to sort of reflect on this year in numbers. So this is the 106th video I've put out this year. It's been quite a year for sure. We've amassed 770,000 views over those videos, which is a total of 163,000 hours you guys have watched my ugly mug talking. I've added countless video games. As I say, I've completed 21 of them. And the most importantly, I've added one new addition to the Retro Ghetto household. And I think I've said this before, I don't want to sort of like go over the same things again, but it's genuinely been one of the best years of my life, and the fact that I coincidentally decided to vlog my life this year is, yeah, just a fantastic decision personally, and I love the fact that I've got this year on video to some extent to go back and watch. And listen, the last couple of videos I've said thank you, right? And I think, you know, sort of Christmas is a time to look back and to reflect. Whereas I think New Year's time to go forward. So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to look forward to 2024, right? Obviously, it goes without saying, without you guys watching, sharing, subscribing, Ghetto Gang joining and everything else, you know, we wouldn't be where we are now. So massive, massive thank you once more. But we're only going to get bigger and better. I've got massive, massive plans for 2024, starting with that huge game hunt I've already spoke about earlier in the vlog. And yeah, I'm just hoping for more of the same. I'm enthused for it. And I just want to know from you guys, when did you first find my channel? So like what kind of period, what video was it that made you find the channel? And what was your highlight of this year? So from the vlogs, what was your highlight and you know, your most memorable or what you most enjoyed from this year of vlogs? But yeah, I'm going to get out of here. I hope you all have a fantastic new year. I'm of that age where I'll probably be asleep by sort of 8 o'clock tonight. Yeah, my partying days are long gone, but rest assured I'll be up early, probably hunting for video games, and you'll see that on next week's vlog. So, Happy New Year. Thank you all again. Have a good one. Be safe. In a bit.
Retro Ghetto.
Lock into the Retro Ghetto.